Oh, good, you saved the day. Can you hear me? Yes.
Hi, Nelly. Yes, we can hear you. Hello, everyone. Welcome. We'll wait just 2 more minutes for everyone who registered to join, and then we will start our session. Thank you so much for being with us. One more minute to wait, but I want to say that we already have so many of you connected from Belgium, from Beirut, from Lithuania, from Egypt, going on from Chicago, Portugal, Jamaica, not a bad place to be now. From Peru, Philippines, London, Lebanon, Tanzania, Cambridge, UK, Dubai, Mozambique. Oh, such a geography today. Amazing. I can repeat all the countries in the world, including the capital. So let's see. Johannesburg, Malta, Greece, Kenya, Argentina, Brussels, Santiago, Chile, Luxembourg. It's a joy. It's really a joy. North Carolina. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope it's not too late to say Happy New Year to everyone since it's our first meeting this year. It's so nice to see everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time and connecting with us. For some of you, it's a lunchtime. For some of you, it might be morning. For some of you, really late in the evening. But we are back to our sessions. And today we have a special topic. We will speak about develop your own leadership style. This session is in collaboration with our partners from WomenWill by Google. And we empower G7 program team is very happy to host it. You know that we spoke about this for a while. You requested, we know leadership is always a topic, but we can tackle it from different perspectives. And today I will speak about the styles. Hopefully, next one might be on effectiveness, since we are in a special time during COVID, and we see that there is no way that we will not speak about women leadership in this important time. The question is, what we need to ask is, why is women leadership a little bit invisible, and how we can make it more visible but also understandable, and at the all level, mid-level executive and also high-level executive. My personal view is that we can be leaders in our own terms at all levels of our work. We can contribute and be important and valuable contributors. So I hope we can discuss this element as well via the chat, but also with our trainer. So before moving forward, maybe I can actually share my screen, have a presentation here. I forgot to do so before. I'm sorry about that. I get too excited about seeing all of you. So a formal welcome to everyone today. As mentioned, our topic is develop your own leadership style. We are happy to collaborate with WomenWill, a Grow with Google program. I'm Diana Rusa, and I will be moderating this learning session. We met in 2020, 2019 on other topics where we spoke about confidence, we spoke about entrepreneurship, and our agenda pretty much always has a similar format. We share a welcome online, we have some opening remarks, we deep dive into the learning session, we do some learning evaluation, and then we have our Untitled manager of the Empower G7 program that will do some closing remarks and some, literature recommendation of our recent work. Today we have an amazing trainer with us, and I would like to welcome Marilee, and I will introduce her in a while. To leadership topic is also very close to the personal development topic. So we wanted to remind everyone about a series of boosters and learning materials that we have for you on the Webs Learn. So please go to www.webs.org, look for the Learn button, and over there, the Open will display the amount and the diversity of the boosters and some learning webinars that we have for you. I thought that it's particularly important and connected with the topic for boost your team skills, how to be a proactive team player. And here we try to include different elements on the team players and their preferred roles. We spoke about in the boost about the leader role, energizer, creator, challenger, networker, achiever. Maybe I would like to give a special shout out also to Douglas. You met Douglas in previous session, Douglas Miller, who also worked on this content with us. So we thought all of them are very important in order to understand our leadership, but also if we are leaders in our own right, how to also moderate the energy in the team meetings, but also in day-to-day collaboration. So today we will deep dive on the first one, but we were happy to collaborate further on both. And when I just wanted to share a little bit of the methodology. You have Sarah, who is the guider and who will share her story of leadership and engagement and some takeaways. So please, we invite you to access that booster and really all of them, and to find the information that is most relevant for you. And if you have special requests, please let us know. We will always be happy to respond. So without any further ado, I would like to invite Marilee Mitropoulou, our trainer for today, to start the learning session. Just wanted to say that Marilee is a marketing consultant working for Google in Dublin for the past 7 years. She holds bachelor degree in economics from the Athens University of Economics and Business, and MBA in hospitality management from Dubai. And of course, she will share a little bit more about herself in a while. She guides businesses on marketing strategy, customer service, interview hiring of personnel, website design, and user experience. Really very in a very ecosystem approach. She's also involved in diversity, equity, and inclusion project. And Marilee also is a facilitator for the I Am Remarkable and WomenWill workshops of Google. Practicing meditation, and she studies to become a Pilates instructor. She adores reading and traveling and wanted to explore further her favorite subjects. So Marilee, welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time and collaborating with us today. Over to you.
Thank you, Diana. That was an amazing introduction. Thank you for the opportunity to be here, and thank you all for being here. I'm so excited to hear from you. Please use the chat. I want this session to be as interactive as possible, and I want to hear from you. So today we are gonna use content from the WomenWill program by Google, and we are gonna build a strong foundation when it comes to leadership. We are gonna explore what we need to tackle in order to build our own leadership style. So I'm gonna share my screen now. And Diana, you will let me know if you can see my screen.
All good, all good. We can see your screen.
Perfect. So let's jump into it right away. And I want you to answer already one question. What is a leader to you? What do you think are 1, 2, 3 attributes that make someone a leader? Please type in the chat. What are leadership qualities that you admire? Or maybe you want to share people that embody these traits. Who are some leaders that you admire? I'll try to open the chat so I can see everything here. Empathy, vision, greetings from Nigeria, yes. Visionary, strategic, take action, empower their teams, very nice. Able to listen, all kind of opinions. Listen to the needs of the people. Thank you, thank you. What about some people, when you think about great leaders, can you type few names that come into your minds? And maybe, Diana, you want to help me here because the chat is on fire.
I'll be happy to. So Nelson Mandela, Obama, Jacinda Ardern, Vera Wijk-Wieghen, Michelle Obama, Malala. We also have Angela Merkel. We also have a mix of personality and qualities. So maybe transparency, empathy, create clear goals, intelligent and empathetic, passionate, listening, empowered, taking risk. Okay, 68 new messages. Just bear with us.
It is okay.
Maya Angelo, Cristina Fernandez, Margaret Thatcher, Kowa Yonasi. So Megan, the Sussex, Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez, Patricia Espinosa, Executive Secretary, UNFCCC, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Jose Mujica, Mahatma Gandhi. So really, various examples from all around the globe.
That is perfect. It is the first time that I'm making this question and I get answers of female leaders. It's the first time the examples the audience is delivering and sharing is of female leaders more than men leaders. It is very impressive. And it means that you are really promoting the female leadership. Thank you very much. So now I want to push you a little bit more, and I want you to take your own notepad, and I want you to write down, you can take inspiration from this slide where you see the top 20 leadership attributes that we have shared with you. But I want you to write down in your own notepad, what are the top 3 attributes you believe a good leader should have? I'll give you a few seconds for that. And then I want you to write and share with yourselves what are the top 3 attributes that you already possess, that you already have, and makes you a great leader already.
Marilee, there was one question from one that asked for clarification between a difference between a leader and a role model, and that many of the people that were listed previously in the long list might have been role models. Are that equal to leader? It's an interesting question.
It is. I don't know if I can give the most correct answer, but I can definitely say that a role model could also be a leader, and a leader could be a role model, but also a role model could be anyone in any job role, and they can be a role model on something they are passionate about and they are very good about. And then a leader is definitely someone who is leading a team. They have this responsibility as well, and they empower people and they inspire people, but also role models can do that. I think a role model is someone that has achieved something on a specific, I don't know, it could be a hobby, it could be their job, it could be that they are very good parents, and people look up to them. But a leader is also a role model, but they are also responsible for a team. This is how I would distinguish this. But please, Diana and Anna, you can jump in and you can also offer your view on this.
And also participants who are working on leadership and we have experience, please feel free to add on chats, and maybe we can also explore this at the end once we will pass through all the learning session.
Thank you. So I have one more question that I want you to write down for yourselves again. What are 3 attributes that you want to cultivate? What are 3 attributes that you want to work on and explore and get better at? Now, if you Google top leadership characteristics, you will get thousands and thousands of results. Clearly, there is no shortage of people with opinions on what makes for great leadership. And this includes us today here on this call. So there is no right and wrong answer. Everyone has their own style, and this is why different people match better with different leaders. And this is why important in your lifetime to be exposed in different types of leadership, so you know exactly how you engage better with different leaders and how you can advance your own leadership style. So keep this in mind, and you can work on this later. You can also take a screenshot and a photo of these attributes that we offer here, and we will come back into it later on. Now, apart from the attributes, we can also learn from the leaders. We can follow them and we can learn from their behavior. And the leaders are known for 2 main things. The first one is prioritization. Very important for someone to be successful and be able to manage their time. The former US President Eisenhower is quoted as saying, "I have 2 kinds of problems, the urgent and the important. The urgent are not important, and the important are never urgent." And this quote became known as Eisenhower Principle. Years later, Stephen Covey, a well-known author and speaker, author of the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, refined this principle, and he created the matrix that you see on this slide. Now, what I'm doing every Friday afternoon is that I am taking a list of all the tasks that I want to complete the following week, and I put them to these 4 quadrants. And like this, I am prioritizing what I'm gonna focus on and what it will help me to take me to the next level. So let's take a look in more detail. In the first quadrant, you have the important and the urgent. There are 2 distinct types of urgent and important activities. The ones that you could not foresee, so crisis, there was no way for you to know what's coming up, and the ones that you have left to the last minute. So from this box, if we want to become efficient and good leaders, the takeaway is that we should avoid last-minute activities by planning ahead and avoid procrastination. In the quadrant number 3, we have the not important but urgent. And these activities in this quadrant embed you from achieving your goals, and they are getting in the way of a task completion. So here, a good leader asks themselves, do I need to do these tasks at all? If the answer is yes, then can you delegate? Do you need to go to this meeting or someone else can go? Must you present at this conference or someone else can go and this will be an opportunity for growth for them? And then we move to the quadrant number 2, the important but not urgent. Items in this quadrant are very important because they are the ones that they will help you achieve your goals. They will take you where you want to go. So you therefore need to make sure that you have time for these activities here. Your task is to set a schedule to plan ahead, so you will make sure you have enough time to do the work that is important for you. And this is why I'm saying every Friday evening, I'm taking the time to plan my next week, to find the time for these activities. And the last quadrant, not important, not urgent, we need to avoid these activities by all means. We can politely say no and we should recognize that if we spend time in these activities, we will lose time from doing other important things. So great leaders know how to prioritize, and great leaders know how to make time for what is important for them, their team, their business, etc. The second thing that we can shadow and follow and learn from a leader is how they delegate. How many of you would you say that you are effective delegators? Even if you don't have people who report to you directly, you are still able to delegate tasks. Instead of thinking in terms of clearing your plate of tasks through delegation, think of this in terms of surrounding yourself with collaborators, people who help you to achieve your goals. So I'm asking again, at what personal expense are you holding yourself back by not delegating? And this is not an exclusive issue of women leadership. This is a leadership issue. But it does tend to be more troublesome for women because they tend to say yes to everything and take on more work to bid, do, and do well at work. So taking on all these tasks and create more stress, and you feel overwhelmed, and you don't do very well because you are spread too thin. So delegation is a leadership tool. It's about teaching people how to think and which questions to ask and how to act when you are not around. So if you are not in a position where people are reporting to you, you still need to learn how to apply these principles now, so you get in a mindset of delegation and you grow your career. So summarizing, delegation and prioritization are two very important skills for leaders. The third thing we are going to focus today is about communication. One characteristic that is admired and recognized among great leaders is their ability to communicate clearly, to stand in front of a group of people and speak with confidence. It is very interesting because many people are afraid of public speaking, and there are surveys that have ranked it as more frightening than death. So if you are focused on developing and becoming a leader, the skill of speaking in public is something that you have to practice and master. So we are sharing here today few tips. Number 1, watch videos of public speakers that you admire delivering a speech. I personally spend hours on YouTube watching TEDx talks and anything else that I find inspiring, and I try to steal some moves of these people. Join a Toastmasters International and find a community that, like you, is trying to get better. Maybe you have a Toastmasters community at your own office, or you want to create a Toastmasters community. Take every opportunity to speak before a group, no matter how small. The more we practice, the better we become. And ask for feedback. This is something that we tend to forget or to avoid. Personally, every time I speak in a meeting, I present in an audience, once I finish, I'll find 1 or 2 people and I'll ask them for feedback on the spot. And what I'm asking them is one thing I did well, because they needed also to empower me, and one thing I could do better next time. So they give me constructive feedback. Now, next tip. Prepare and speak on subjects you know you're passionate, you love, you spend time on, so you feel confident and you know what you are talking about. Please do not forget to be kind to yourselves. We have all made mistakes and we have all failures, but we need to stay kind and prepare ourselves to be better next time. Try to use metaphors and analogies, humor when it is possible, and be in the moment. Stay in the present, be in the flow, enjoy the moment. This is your time to shine, so feel it. Now, we are gonna explore 4 main styles of communication. And as I speak to them, think about where you fall. I want you to remember that these are not definitive categories. No one is better than another, and some people have 2 strong traits, others have just 1. Wherever you self-identify is okay. Whatever your style may be, it's good for you to know your approach so you can communicate it to the people that you either lead or collaborate with. So let's explore one by one. The first one is directors, and these people tend to take the lead. A director may say things like, what are your plans on this? What are the success metrics? In a team setting, they may try to assert control and may push riskier approaches if they feel it will achieve better results. When you communicate with directors, reaffirm goals, since they are focused on the present. The next communication style is thinkers, and thinkers are reflective. They may consider multiple scenarios before taking action. They may not meet deadlines because they are detail-oriented. As I speak, try to bring in your mind people that you know and you categorize them as directors or thinkers, and may try to write down other attributes of these people as well. The next communication style is expressors. These are people you will pay to hear them talk. They tend to dream up things like off-the-wall campaign concepts. They may have a short attention span and may not be detail-oriented. And lastly, we have harmonizers. These are people who seek to create peace and avoid conflict. These are people who have great empathy and they speak warmly and encouragingly to colleagues. When you collaborate and talk with these people, focus on asking how someone like this is doing and creating a relationship. Personally, I see myself as an harmonizer, but I want you to find through these axes here what you are and what's your communication style. So in these two axes, we have also added one more dimension. If someone is task-focused or people-focused, and then if they take decisions fast or they take their time and they want to do their research and they want to check all the boxes, so they are more slow when they are deciding. So if you are task-focused and fast on decision-making, you are a director. If you are task-focused and slow on decision-making, you are a thinker. And then we have people-focused and slow in decision-making, harmonizer, people-focused and fast, expressor. Why are we doing this exercise? Not only for you to understand completely what's your communication style, but because a great leader shares with their team and their people how they should communicate, collaborate, and engage with them. Final comment here. Inverse relationships can often work really well together. So leaders try also to find opposite styles because the one complements the other and the tasks and the work can be achieved faster and more efficient. Now, I'm gonna play a video for 5 minutes of Abby Cuddy. I hope I pronounce it correctly. And she sets up the whole subject of body language, power, and gender. Now, while we watch this video, I want to invite you to take the power position of Wonder Woman. Bring your arms here, stand up straight, and just focus there for a bit, and we will discuss together once we finish the video.
I'm a social psychologist. I study prejudice, and I teach at a competitive business school. And what are nonverbal expressions of power and dominance? Well, this is what they are. So in the animal kingdom, they are about expanding. So you make yourself big, you stretch out, you take up space, you're basically opening up. It's about opening up. And this is true across the animal kingdom. It's not just limited to primates, and humans do the same thing. So they do this both when they have power sort of chronically, and also when they're feeling powerful in the moment. This expression, which is known as pride, Jessica Tracy has studied. She shows that people who are born with sight and people who are congenitally blind do this when they win. So they confident and they won. Doesn't matter if you've never seen anyone do it. They do this. So the arms up in the V. What do we do when we feel powerless? We do exactly the opposite. We close up, we wrap ourselves up, we make ourselves small. We don't want to bump into the person next to us. So again, both animals and humans do the same thing. And this is what happens when you put together high and low power. So what we tend to do when it comes to power is that we complement the other's nonverbals. So if someone's being really powerful with us, we tend to make ourselves smaller. We don't mirror them, we do the opposite of them. We are also influenced by our nonverbals, our thoughts and our feelings and our physiology. Is it possible that we could get people to fake it, and would it lead them to participate more? Like, can you do this just for a little while and actually experience a behavioral outcome that makes you seem more powerful? So we have this evidence, both that the body can shape the mind, at least at the facial level, and also that role changes can shape the mind. So what happens, okay, you take a role change, what happens if you do that at a really minimal level, like this tiny manipulation, this tiny intervention? For 2 minutes you say, I want you to stand like this, and it's going to make you feel more powerful. So this is what we did. We decided to bring people into the lab and run a little experiment. And these people adopted for 2 minutes either high power poses or low power poses. And I'm just going to show you 5 of the poses, although they took on only 2. So here's one, a couple more. This one has been dubbed the Wonder Woman by the media. Here are a couple more. So you can be standing or you can be sitting. And here are the low power poses. So you're folding up, you're making yourself small. This one is very low power. When you're touching your neck, you're really kind of protecting yourself. Here's what we find on testosterone. From their baseline when they come in, high power people experience about a 20% increase, and low power people experience about a 10% decrease. So again, 2 minutes and you get these changes. Here's what you get on cortisol. High power people experience about a 25% decrease, and the low power people experience about a 15% increase. So 2 minutes lead to these hormonal changes that configure your brain to basically be either assertive, confident, and comfortable, or really stress reactive, and feeling sort of shut down. And we've all had that feeling, right?
And I'm gonna stop here. I don't know if you kept the position and if you felt the boost. The first years, one of my first managers in the company, before every big meeting, she was disappearing. She was going to the bathroom and she was taking the power pose for a few minutes so she can boost her energy before entering an important meeting. And it's something that you can notice in great leaders, how they stand. So I will share the video later so you can watch until the end, but basically we can boost our energy before important meetings, presentations, anything else you need, and we can actually make ourselves believe that we become powerful in 2 minutes time. So this is a great skill for leaders. I hope you will keep this in the future. So this is about non-verbal, and there is a very well-known statistic that is a quoted figure that 93% of all communications is non-verbal. 93% of all communications is non-verbal. So leaders do not need to speak, basically. This figure comes from the 55-38-7 rule, first developed in the 70s. The 57% of communication is contained in how someone holds themselves, their expressions, use of hands, and body position. So great leaders are aware of this, and they are spending time improving their expressions, how they hold themselves, how they present themselves. They are taking classes, they are receiving feedback, but they know that is very, very important. Now, I want to bring your attention to one more matter regarding non-verbal communication. Men are often considered leaders if they are authoritative and strong. Women leaders are often referred to as nurturing and kind. Research shows that we tend to judge people against 2 dimensions, warmth and competence. And the findings show that when people want to appear warm, they tend to agree, compliment, perform favors, and encourage others to talk. When people want to appear competent, they emphasize their accomplishments, show confidence, and they control the conversation. Men are perceived as competent regardless of if they are warm or not. However, when women appear warm, they are not perceived as competent. In other words, for women to appear more competent, we need to downplay warmth. Do any of these align with your experiences? Please type in the chat and we can discuss it more. But have you felt this? Have you experienced this? Now, when it comes to leaders, it's all about networking. If you follow the lead of people who had successful careers, they will inevitably point to the value of their network as a contributing factor. There is no magic formula, but the more you do, the better you will get at it. Networking is like working out. You know you should do it. You know you will feel better after you do it. And the more you do it, the better you become at it. So let me ask you something. Now that it is COVID era, and it is work from home era, it is video calls era, are you still networking? Do you try to make time to network during your work days? When we were able to go to the office, my every single lunch break, I had scheduled a lunch with a new person from the office. In Google, in Dublin, we are 8,000 people now, so I had plenty of options. I wasn't afraid to send out an invitation and say, hi, I heard your name there. Would you be interested in chatting up, having a coffee break or a lunch break? Nowadays that I'm stuck at home, and because networking is very important, I sign up with NGOs, associations, committees, any group I found online, and I try to network and meet with them and have video chats, and or I have invited people to walk, because we are still allowed to go out for a walking. So people that live close by, I invite them to take a walk on a Sunday. Now, a few things about successful networking. It's not about us. It's not about me when I am inviting someone else for a networking. It is an opportunity for me to learn about them. So I go prepared. I have a full list of questions about things I want to know about them. And I make them feel nice, and I compliment them. And then when they have finished, I let them know about me as well. Also, volunteering is a very smart way to explore and open and expand your network. You can volunteer to be part of a company committee or industry association, and this can bring you more people and more contacts. Now, networking is not happening like this. There is a strategy if you want to be committed and successful. So take a photo here, take a screenshot, because this is something you need to work on. This is the network map and has 4 quadrants. The first quadrant is the people who encourage you to do more. We also call them butt kickers. They are accelerators, mentors, and people that they are saying the truth to you. The second quadrant is full of people that help you become more. These are your promoters, cheerleaders, explorers, and inspirers. On the next group, we have the ones that help you care more. Lover, connector, and balancer. And finally, we have those that enable you to know more. These are your teachers, influencers, professors, and architects. Now, what is your job here? You need to evaluate and audit your network. And I am confident that you will find blanks and spots that you can fill in. You need at least one person for each category. Only then your network will be balanced and fill up to its full potential. So again, take a photo from here and try to map the people in your network with these categories here. See what you are missing and go out there to find people who can help you with the rest. So networking is a conscious effort. You need an action plan, and it comes in 2 parts. The first one is actually creating an action plan, is setting a goal of how many hours per week you want to invest on this and how many meetings you want to achieve, let's say in the next 30 days. You set a goal, you set a reminder in your calendar so you can work on this at least once per week. You can, in the beginning, find new contacts, so you can build. Once you believe you have reached a good level, then it's about maintenance. You need to go back there, have a catch-up, let them know what else has changed since the first meeting you had with these sponsors and mentors. The second thing that is very important is the way you introduce yourself. Either it is face-to-face, video call, or in written. A few years ago, we had a great training at Google that it was about introduction and how important it is. And they advised us the following. You need to share clearly your name, your occupation, what you are working on, and what you are passionate about. Let me repeat, your name, title, what you are currently working on, and what you are passionate about. And this is what Diana did in the beginning when she introduced me. Who am I? What's my occupation? What I'm working on? And what I'm passionate. In this way, you give so much content to the people that you are meeting on the spot that you give them reasons to continue the conversation. And this is a very effective way to create a strong network with people that find you interesting and they have reasons to keep discussing with you. This brings us to a very important segmentation, distinguish, comparison. Having an established, experienced and inspiring person to help you and guide you in your career is very valuable. But we have two types. We have mentors, and these are people who help you to act on your own behalf. In contrast, a sponsor is someone who will advocate for you when you are not around. And these are the people that will find you job opportunities and they will give you and fight for you for a promotion. So both of these are not just transactional. It is strong relationships that they can help you. There is research, catalyst research around it, and they found that sponsorship is key to women's success in the workplace. And the specific report found that good sponsors can supercharge a woman's career by providing her with access to essential networks, bringing up her achievements to the attention of executive levels, and recommending her for key assignments. They also found in this research that sponsorship is earned. Let me repeat this. Sponsorship is earned. And according to a research from the University of Stanford, the number one factor that defines your success, your promotion, anything you want to achieve in a company, is your visibility, is your own voice. So you need to present your achievements, your contribution to the business, your work to the people in your company, in your community, so people know about you. Only then you will find sponsors. So it is back to you. And this is what great leaders are doing. They are confident and they feel comfortable talking about what they are contributing. Final stop for today is a few tips around your personal brand. I talked about visibility. So visibility is who you are. Your personal brand is an essential element of building your network. The impression you give and the reputation you build is the foundation of your network. And it is made up of three key elements: performance, image, and exposure. Many people often think that if you work hard and you contribute to the business, people will recognize you and they will give you a promotion or anything else you are asking. The truth is that no one has the time to look at your contribution unless you step up and you have exposure and image and you have visibility and you own this. You own your story. So according to Coleman's pie theory, performance makes up only 10%. Your actual work and results makes up 10% of your personal brand. Image and exposure is 30 and 60% respectively. So what do you need to do here? You need to find opportunities where you can present who you are, what you are working on, what you are passionate about. And you need, if you are a part of a team and if you have a manager, you need to work with your manager to identify these opportunities. You need to build your brand, you need to build your voice. You need to practice how you want to present, how you want to be, how you are gonna be authentic in your message and what you are giving to other people. And the last thing is you need to shadow leaders, managers, and senior executives. Even watching videos on YouTube, in TV, anywhere, this can help as well. You need to shadow, to take ideas on how you can represent better yourself. Now that we know how important your personal brand is to your success, as a leader, you need to create a formula for success. And we have 3 key elements here: message, medium, and measurement. The message is the most important thing. It needs to feel authentic to you and to what you stand for as a leader. A good way to contemplate what you want your message to be is to consider what you want people to answer to the following questions. What sort of leader are you? And what do you stand for? And these 2 questions brings us to the first slides in this presentation this afternoon. What are the attributes you possess and you want to work on? The second thing is medium. So no matter how strong and authentic you are in your message, failure to have an effective method of getting this message out will hinder the building of your personal brand. Your medium may be one of many and could include public speaking, LinkedIn posts, one-to-one coffee chats, lunch breaks, or attending networking events. Or it could be a combination of all this. Just be sure to use an approach that you feel confident at, so you can show your strengths. The last thing is measurement. You need to measure how your message is going out there. You will never be sure if you have succeeded if you do not define what success looks like. It is essential to set clear goals for yourself when building your personal brand. So as I mentioned earlier, you need an action plan about how many hours you will spend in a week and how many meetings you want to have in the next few weeks and months. But how about how many connections you want to have in LinkedIn on a specific time frame? Or how many reshares of a post you had on LinkedIn, for example. Or how many networking events you want to attend. No matter what is your goal, make sure that it is sustainable and measurable to make your life easy. And with that, we have covered everything for today. We talked about leadership attributes. You need to recognize what you admire, what you possess, and what you want to build on. We talked about the importance of prioritization and delegation, the different communication styles, who you are, and let the others know so they can better engage with you. The importance of networking. Great leaders have a great network in place. And your own visibility, your own voice, your own story. This brings me to this slide that I want you again to take a photo of it. And I want you later on to write 2 things to yourself. What will women achieve? What will women do? What will women leadership will make? And what you personally will achieve, dream, do? Just complete the sentences and keep them next to you so you can keep motivated. I know Diana has prepared some assessment questions so we can see where we stand and how the message was.
Thank you so much, Marilee. I think we all enjoyed the session. I hope it's okay that I'm saying for everyone, yes, I am very diligent and I would love to see not only the excitement, but also to learn what we did learn today, as we did have a lot of tips and tricks. But probably I would like to change a little bit the style. Maybe I will turn the questions and we will respond. And in the same time, we'll give an opportunity to Anna to share some remarks, and then we'll clarify some questions. I think that we'll receive here during the session via the Q&A session, bar. So I think there are some important questions in relation to the theoretical approach that we discussed, specifically about the difference between leaders and managers, also difference between leadership and role models we discussed, but also importance, what is the difference between image and experience. And maybe also it was emphasized about stewardship of leadership in when we delegate the tasks. Anna, if you recall some other questions tailored to the main highlights of learning, please also let us know. And we would also love to hear your perspective from leadership style and position that you hold also, and your experience as a leader, if you can share with us as well. So over to you, Anna.
Okay, so I had some questions that I also picked up. There was a lot of activity. So I was also picking up some that was the difference between image and exposure. And how do we deal with body language now when everything is online, when our parts of bodies are not as visible as they would be in person? And there was somebody that also reflected a bit on how you said that we introduce ourselves, my different cultures. And I think maybe some reflection on that, and then I can come back with some of my other thoughts.
Okay, great point about different cultures. Obviously, we need to take this into consideration. I don't know all the cultures, so I'm going to be mindful here. I understand we had some comments. In Europe and in US, I understand that we can be more active on this. I would say that it's important when we introduce ourselves, no matter the way, to be able to communicate our truth and what we are stand for. So no matter what is the culture, and in every culture people know how they should respond and react, just make sure that you are able to communicate your truth, what you are stand for. Anna, I'm sorry, but I forgot the first point you made.
The difference between image and exposure. So in your pie chart, you have the 3 parts, right?
So, the image is how people see us, how they conceive us. The exposure is how much you get out of your comfort zone and you get out there and you share your story, your contribution, the results you bring, what you stand for. So they are connected, but again, exposure is active and image can be passive as people see us. I hope this clarifies.
Great. And then there was one question on the body language while we're online.
That's very good, actually. Very, very good. Okay, you cannot move a lot around, but I think personally I'm very, passionate, and I use my hands, I smile, I try to open my eyes, I try to stand up. I think, and sometimes when people talk to me, I come closer to the camera. I think we still have some moves to show our positive and open and friendly body language, even through video calls. Also, part of the body language is our voice, so how high or low we are. So I think we have some moves we can work around.
Thank you. So I think that these were the some of the key questions. Just from my end, I picked up also some of the comments and some of the great suggestions. So we had both questions and other people helping to answer some of the questions. So I'd like to thank everyone for being so collaborative. Something that came up was about generosity, and to be a good leader, you need to be generous. And we actually had that conversation yesterday here in UN Women, and the importance of kindness, empathy, and how important it is with emotional intelligence. So I think I just wanted to emphasize that point that was made in your presentation, but also by a lot of the participants. Many of them talked about the challenges of delegating work. And some also asked about if there are different styles depending on the team that you lead. And I do think that there are different styles. We didn't go into that too much today, but I think that you could look at it in 4 different steps of directing when you have somebody new to the team and might need a lot of support and hand-holding, and it goes to coaching. So coaching is one way of not necessarily be micromanaging, which you kind of do a little bit with the directing and the hands-on, to supporting, and then to delegating. So it is a process also that different people might have different needs in the team, and you could then work with different people in different ways. And I think a good leader is also, and you mentioned it, Marilee, that it's getting to know the team that you're working with and knowing each person what they need and how you can work with that person. So you can take one size fits all and approach, but you need to really see who's in your team and how can you work with them differently. So I think that was one point that I wanted to make. And I think delegating work, it is, someone also said, it's about trust, but it's also a way for you as a leader to see things from a different perspective. You might have your fixed idea that this has to be done in this way, but by delegating, you will see that there are other ways of doing the same thing, and you will come to maybe even better results. And I think communication is really key here, of making sure that you are communicating on an ongoing basis. Some people also talked about speaking before a group, that can be quite challenging, and we saw that, and I think it was really great that you gave us those tips of boosting energy before we do so. So I definitely will go back to that TED talk and listen more. I think what is important is really practice matters, and you made that point, Marilyn, that no matter the size of the group, myself, when I was a student, I volunteered every time to go and make a presentation in front of the class, because I knew that it was important. And everybody like, why do you always volunteer? It's terrible to make presentation, and you need to prepare, and you need to do all this. And I said, but this is the time in a comfort zone that I can practice. And then once it really matters, I go out in the workplace, and that's where it matters more. So I want to practice now. So I think that trying to practice with friends, practice with near colleagues, and then practice makes perfect. And you basically just need to And I can tell you that I was very, very terrified myself. I had to, I put my out there to really make presentation no matter where, and with people that I hadn't met. And I said, it doesn't matter. I just need to practice and get over this kind of stage fear or speaking in front of people. So it's really being strong and really say, doesn't really matter. I'm here to practice. And finally, I think I really liked your insights on the networking during COVID. I think a lot of people picked up on that, and got some great tips on how to do that. And I think the point that you made that I really found very useful is curiosity. And some of the boosters that we have, I have shared the web link a few times, but it's basically webs.org/learn. We talk about how important it is to be curious about the other person, not about being the one talking about yourself and wanting everyone to know who you are, but really being curious about the other one. And that fosters relationships, and that fosters the network. And I think it's the curiosity is a great skill to have in building networks. So I just like to, I know we are over time with a few minutes, so I think we have to stop. But I would like to thank you, Marilee, and I would like to thank all the participants, because you were amazing with participating so actively and feeding with the ideas and suggestion. So thank you so much. One of the recurrent question was, will you share the recording? Yes, we will. We will share the recording. And I also took screenshots because I want to use it right away and practice. But I think it will live on, and we'll share with everyone this recording. And you will have all the slides, and you can practice. And I'm sure many of you will go over it many times, because there were lots of great insights. So thanks, everyone. And I hope that we will see you on our next events, and you will get the updates on the Women's Empowerment Principles website, webs.org, and you will get updates there to what's coming up. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anna. Just to clarify also on the questions, since we didn't have time to elaborate more on those, we had two test questions. First being, which one, which of the leadership, which of the skills is one of the core in leadership? And we have interpersonal skills, communication skills, problem solving skills, organizational skills, technical and analytical skills. Please note, everyone, that the correct answer was communication skills, and 65% responded correct to the question. So thank you for being attentive. The next question led to the building your leadership style, where to pay attention. And we chose to ask you, do you need to pay attention to prioritization and delegation? Consider your communication style, evaluate your network, and find a mentor or sponsor, or become a mentor or sponsor. I think this is a point that we didn't succeed to touch, but maybe in the future communication and learning session. And I know the majority of you voted on the prioritization and delegation. Please note that all the answers, this is the correct answer. So all these points are important in order to build, find, and determine your leadership style. And if you want to be creative, as Marilee and Anna mentioned, please adapt. One last point. Thank you so much for sharing your LinkedIn connection details. Unfortunately, we cannot copy paste all of them and include, but if you want to share specific resources with us, please share your emails and with in an email with us with a recording of that learning session or that resource or anything you want to share, and we would be happy to include for all of us in the follow-up email to the session. Stay well, stay healthy, be happy, and connect with us next time. Have a good one, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.